Hello and welcome back to PECO TV. Today we're announcing the release of 3 new kits in the Lineside laser cut range which form a Victorian house. The LK206 Victorian house fronts and the LK207 Victorian house backs, plus a much larger kit, the LK208 Complete Victorian house, which is a combination of the 2 previous kits plus a few extra materials. So these 3 kits give you the freedom and flexibility to either build a complete Victorian house, which is a standalone and can sit in the middle of your model railway, or you could opt for a row of low relief house fronts or backs to help form the back scene. So in this film we're going to take a look at the LK208 Complete Victorian house, as this includes the vast majority of the building work required. Now again, it's time for the obligatory plug for the PECO Tools Kit Builders toolset, the PT200, which has all the tools you need to confidently complete the kit. Plus we also recommend these glues, and we will also be using these paints to create a 1950s feel to our buildings. I would also recommend using these hair clips during the construction to help hold the items whilst the glue dries. Right, we kick off with Jeff constructing the front sections of the Victorian building, which could also be used as low relief as found in the LK206. He then starts by cutting out the items he needs and laminating the walls we've already painted. Then he simply brings these walls together to construct the front of the building. Once the structure has been glued together, he then begins to cut out the glazing, followed by the front doors and the curtains. Then he moves on to the rear of the building, which is the equivalent of the LK207 kit. Again, he laminates the walls and brings them together. However, the back is a little more tricky as you have the courtyard and privy to think about. And again, once constructed, he has to add the glazing, the doors and the curtains, and then leaves it to one side to dry. Next he constructs the courtyard floor and then attaches the door and wall sections for the privy, followed by the laminated wall ends with the gates. Now it's that time where it's worth pointing out that this is where the difference lies between the kits. Both the LK206 and 207 have short gable end sections like this, should you wish to build your kit as a low relief building. And then if you were building either the LK206 and 207, once you've added the short gable end walls, you then need to move on and fit your roof. However, we are building the LK208 kit, which includes the complete gable end wall to cover both the front and the rear of the buildings like this, meaning there's no unsightly join down the centre. Jeff uses enough glue to make sure he gets a good bond, and then uses hair clips to hold the 2 sections of the building together. Once the front and back sections of the building have been brought together, he then adds the end gable walls to complete the structure. He attaches the chimney stack and begins fitting the roof before painting it in situ, and then fits all the barge boards. Then it's about adding the finishing touches, like painting the concrete around the base of the chimney pots and then fitting the chimney pots in place, and then touches up any paint. When all the glues and paints have dried, it's time to give it that 1950s townhouse look, and we're going to use a dark grey wash to pick out all that detail before placing it to one side to dry. And there we go. Whatever you're building, whether it be a row of terraced houses on a street in low relief or a building at the end of a terrace, these kits give you all the options you need. So until the next time, happy modelling!
you.